Hi everybody, right now I'm going to give a review of my Titan T3 rack. I love this thing. I can't believe I ever lifted without a rack now. I'm not sure that the Titan T3 is better than the Rogue R3 or better than a lot of other power racks out there. What I do know is that it's a lot less expensive and I think it works 100% as well. So let's talk about some of the things that I didn't like so much about it. When it arrived, it had some defects in it. So for instance, this tube, when it arrived, one of the holes in the west side spacing wasn't punched out. You can see there's a little machine. It actually put a little notch in here, but it didn't knock the thing out. So I called Titan, they fixed it right away. All right, another thing, if you look at these tubes, you can see a visible seam here. Let me see if I can get a good angle on that, and it's a little more pronounced on this one. You may be able to see it. So this is the way all square metal tubes are made. They're welded, you know, they start out as sheet steel and then they get welded, but typically, you know, you see a little bit higher quality than this. So a little bit of a thing there. Here, somehow in shipping, there's a little tiny dent here. I mean, just little things like this all over this thing. So it's, you know, it is what it is. All right, down here, the J-cups, one thing I don't like about them, let me show you, is they're both the same. So if I move this to the left, it comes out. If I move this to the left, it comes out. Typically, you'd want them to be opposite so that one would go to the right and one would go to the left, and that way if you had a bar that was on them and shifted, that it wouldn't be able to dislodge both of them. It'd only be able to dislodge one. That's a defect. I'm not really happy with these J-cups. I bought the sandwich J-cups instead, but these work. So, you know, it would take a really bizarre calamity for the bar to move so much that it actually dislodged the J-cup and made it come off the rack. Okay. The other thing is the pin safeties. So I'm going to do a little demonstration of how they work. The pin safeties are kind of the whole reason to buy this thing, really. That is the monumental leap forward that you're going to get in safety if you buy a power rack of any kind. I really don't recommend lifting alone if you don't have one. Now, down at the bottom, it also comes with 4 plate holders. So here's one. And then I've just got them loaded up with plates down low to give the rack stability. Now, up top, this bar is not standard. This is the multi-grip bar. So I put that one on there. It cost another $60, $70. It comes with a skinny chin-up bar that's up here. And then it also comes with a fat pull-up bar, which I took off so that I could have the multi-grip bar. And then if you're on the left side of the multi-grip bar here, that you'd be able to do pull-ups without hitting your head on anything. If you try to put all 3 bars, you will have one side or the other of the multi-grip bar that you really can't use. So I thought the multi-grip bar was more important than the fat pull-up bar. I don't use a fat pull-up bar. If you do, good for you. That means you're probably a pretty strong person. So all in all, am I glad I got it? Yes, especially at this price. These things will sell out, and I haven't seen a lot of sales on them, but if you can get them, they're half the price of Rogue. Shipping is included. I think the powder coat's fine. All this stuff gets beat up as you use it anyway. So I would definitely recommend this one. Again, small quality issues. This is just the way Titan is with their stuff. They're just the Chinese manufacturers that do this stuff. You get little tiny quality issues with this stuff. And I think they're not really careful with these things when they package them up to ship them over here to the States. So you get things that are dinged up. But at the same time, this is half the price of a Rogue rack. If I had bought a Rogue R3 rack, it would not work any better than this. It would work exactly the same. So I'm glad I got it. So if you don't have a power rack, I strongly recommend getting one of these. They're awesome, and I really think if you lift alone especially, don't do squats or bench press without these. They're great. You can use them for other things too, like rack pulls and various other exercises, but I just use mine for bench and for squats, and again, they're super. Especially, I just saw one on Craigslist in the Cleveland area. They wanted $200 for it, so you might have been able to talk them down a little bit. So if you can get one used, these things are awesome. I think every gym should have them. Once you get that initial set of barbells, some kind of cheap bench or something like that, this should be the very next thing you get when you get enough money to do it. So good luck. 2 thumbs up on this. Strongly recommend the Titan T3 rack, despite the misgivings on it and the downsides. I think for the money, it does 100% of what you need it to do, works great, and you won't regret having it.